Hi everyone, welcome back to Live Darts. It's that time of year again. Christmas is on the horizon, so of course we have to have Macy Ace on. It wouldn't be the same. Chris, plenty of talking points in all codes of darts. First of all, Alexandra Palace is on the horizon. The excitement's building. Great time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, well, great for us. I'm not sure it's been announced yet, but I'll be there in some capacity working in the media side of things, which is great. Not for Sky, let's put that out there before that starts a rumour. That's never going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just a magical tournament, and it's been there a few years now. It's been there 12th year, something like that, 11th or 12th year, and it just gets bigger and better every year, doesn't it? It's just an unbelievable atmosphere. I love it.
No question whatsoever. Michael van Gerwen and Gerwyn Price, the two hot tournament favourites as we look at it now, because the pair of them are in a league of their own, shall we say?
Yeah, on a consistent basis. Yeah, right now they're a little bit in front of everybody for me. Peter Wright, while he continues to tinker, although he's put in some stratospheric numbers, he then ends up getting found out. And I mean, in this tournament, because we're down at Minehead for the Players' Champs finals, point coming out of his dart, and then that just totally distracted him, and he ended up getting beat where he looked in good nick up until that point, averaging sort of 108. But yeah, you can't discount Durrant. I mean, there's just so many good players. Dobie, Aspinall. We've seen it before. We had a great run from the young players coming through last year with Luke Humphries and Nathan Aspinall. Joe Cullen's got to be considered. Ian White, is it eventually going to be his time? Lewis looks like he's finding a good bit of form again. Yeah, the list is endless. Which Gary Anderson's going to turn up?
That's a $64,000 million question,
absolutely.
Probably for another video on its own. Just touching on Michael especially, is there now pressure, because he's never defended this, and everyone goes on about it. Yes, he's a 3 times world champion, but he's never gone there and defended it. And two, if someone's going to get him, do they have to get him early before it really steps up in sets?
I think what we've seen over the last 12, 18 months, that he can be vulnerable. We've seen in a performance in this tournament against Merv King, slightly distracted, 93 average, but we've seen that a lot, well, not a lot, but more frequently than we've probably seen in the previous 4 or 5 years. So he can be beaten. Players now who are consistently in averages, the 105s, which no matter what version of MVG turns up, he's going to be under it. Is he rightly the favourite? Yeah, but it's way too short for me. I mean, a few of my mates got pricey at like 30s a few months ago, and I mean, what a punt that is now.
He's probably going to go 4-1, 7-2, somewhere around
Second
there.
favourite.
Which is remarkable. And he's still a baby as well. And what he's doing, with not that many years' experience, is remarkable.
Yeah, I've said it in commentary many times. He's nowhere near the finished article yet. Not even close. He's only been an active professional for not even 5 years. I think, he sort of started playing seriously 5 years ago. I mean, that's staggering to come from another sport. Even if he did play a bit of Super League and the odd local comp, that's nothing like what he's playing in at this level.
Durrant as well. There was a lot of talk around the Grand Slam. Should he, shouldn't he be? That was a whole different politicians, and we're not that. But 3 PDC televised semi-finals in his first year is a remarkable step for him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player. He got so much guts. I mean, we get on really well. We rib each other. It's all banter, and he just sticks in, and he knows how to grind. But that, but he does have levels. He is capable of it in big numbers. I think he was unwell at this event at the Players' Champs. He went down with flu a couple of days before, and he never looked quite right, and he didn't look right against Barneveld. But yeah, he'll go into that world. He's one of the, he's in my top 10 of who could win it.
This year as well, I think it's great for a spectacle that players don't seem to be getting on quite so much.
Great, isn't it? This is more like it.
There's a little bit of needle, and probably for the last 2 or 3 years, it has been too cosy on that hockey, and they've all got on where now it means something to them, and there's that passion and that desire there. Yeah,
I think we're just entering a new generation of players. There's a lot of money to play for. I think Michael had all his own way for a while. Gary had that similar thing where they were virtually unplayable, and people were quite happy just to plod along and nick a few quid. Where now the titles are getting shared out, and you've got more and more people that are on the cusp of big things. And Michael Smith's another one. Is he eventually going to get over the line and then win multiple titles? Very much like Gary and and Adrian Lewis did. It's nice to see that they're playing with a bit of passion.
Going back to the Jockey and Eric days, and they're kicking each other before they go on stage. They're not, by the way, but that kind of scenario, it's great.
Yeah, well, it's sort of. I mean, the reason the exclusion zone was put in was because of Rod Arrington and Keith Deller giving each other a few kicks up in the heels. But yeah, it's nice to see that it means something. You know, it's. I think a lot of them have sort of got used to the lifestyle and earning that money now, but. You know, they've got to be thinking, hang on a minute, I should be winning more titles, or at least one. And there's a big group of players out there that, you know, you've got Aspinall coming along winning titles, Daryl Gurney's winning titles, but there's a big handful of players that should have won a title by now and haven't.
We obviously can't talk about the Worlds and not talk about the Premier League. The players have started talking about it now, so I've got licence to talk about it. I get told off for going too early on the Premier League, but now...
Well, the thing is, we're just coming up to the end of this event when we're recording this video, so we're down to the finals day. And then there's one tournament left. I mean, that one tournament can change everything. Is it likely that someone who's not already in the Premier League is going to win it? Not for me.
Looking at it, I think we can probably both agree, sat here, that 9 we can agree on, and unless something ridiculous happens, there's probably one space up for grabs. Are we in agreement on that?
Well, I've gone for Michael van Gerwen, Rob Cross, Gerwyn Price, Gary Anderson, Michael Smith, Peter Wright. Now, the next 3 for me are up for debate. I mean, that's 7. So listen to the players that we've got to pick the next 3 out of. James Wade, Ian White, Dave Chisnell, Aspinall, Adrian Lewis, if he has a good Worlds. You know what I mean? He's one of them kind of Premier League type players. Joe Cullen, Ratajski, Chris Dobie, Glenn Durrant. I mean, we've got to pick 3 from that and keep everybody happy.
So, we'll talk about an easy one first of all. We all both agree that Gary Anderson will be in.
Yeah, whether he's played well enough the last 12 months or not is irrelevant.
That's my next question. From a darting point of view, has he done enough to put himself in that bracket? The Premier League.
You know how much of a big Gary Anderson fan I am. No, but we also got to remember
the
commercial side of it. You know, the big event in Scotland. You know, it was all right last time because they got big John Henderson up there, and he was magical. You know, what I mean? Aberdeen, I think that was. But yeah, so they've got to go with Gary. The commercial side of it, they can put Barneveld in there. You know what I mean? And there was no way he was deserving of a spot, whether he was retiring or not. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
Ned's joining us from ITV.
What's your top 10 in the Premier League then?
What, for the Premier League?
Yeah.
I'll go with whatever he said. A man who wears a shirt like that, he knows his onions.
So, James Wade, unless he wins the World semi-final, has he almost played his way out the back end of this season? It's not been great on TV.
When you think towards the back end of last year, winning back-to-back TV events, you know, you think, right, nailed on for it. But it's not been a good year for him. It's just not been a good enough year. But the problem is, again, is he a big enough name? Does he have is he a fan's favourite like a Barneveld or like a Gary Anderson?
No,
I'm not sure.
I don't
and that's
know.
no slight on James. I love the guy.
Unbelievable player, but does he tick the commercial boxes? I don't think he does personally.
So. And they've left him out before.
When he was world number 5.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm not so sure Wade is going to get in. You know, is James Wade a better player than Dave Chisnell? Well, he's more successful.
But right now, who would you have your money on?
Chisnell being in there, but I don't think he will. Well, if he has a good Worlds, I think they'll put him in. I think he's been one of the best 10 players for probably the last 3 or 4 months, and he's putting in big averages, big numbers, loads of 180s. Commercially, he's ideal for the Premier League. But is it time that they freshened it up? We've seen the impact having the contenders in last year, how good that was. So is it time for some fresh blood? Matt Porter's just walked past. Damn. He's not going to tell us either, is he? Yeah.
Talking on Glenn Durrant as a potential pick, I agree. 3 semi-finals, but
and a 3-time world champion and commercially very, very popular.
Is his world ranking an issue though?
No. Barneveld's wasn't. Barneveld had not won a ranking event since 2007. So
it's an interesting one. You know what people on social media are going to pick up on?
Yeah, and when we got this thing about, I love Barney, we're good mates, but I'm not paid. I can't do a matey thing when I'm paid to have an opinion. It's just that, you know, I don't think Durrant's ranking, it's unfair to not pick him on ranking because he's only just joined and he's in the top 30 in 11 months. If he'd have gone in the Grand Slam you know, as a wild card or as a pick, or if he'd have got through in the qualifier, which he nearly did, then that 40 grand on his ranking would have put him up even higher. So I don't think, if we were 2 years down the line and he was still only ranked 30 or 29, you'd go, yeah, you know what I mean, it may be a bit iffy, but, you know, he's still a world champion right now as we speak.
Yeah.
He's the BDO world champion. He won it 3 times on the trot, won the Masters, won everything else. His PDC career is in its infancy. That's only because he just joined. But, you know, when Barneveld joined, he was straight in the Premier League.
Talking about Barneveld,
So was Bunting.
his book's just been released. Now, there's some couple of interesting quotes. Now, we don't know if they've been taken out of context or whatever, but in black and white, in publishing, they don't make good reading, do they?
Are we referring to the
testosterone?
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I'm not sure why you would take that. I can't see. It wouldn't be a performance-enhancing drug for a dart player. You know, maybe I don't know. Maybe for something at home he was taking it for, because obviously, you know.
But the issue is, it is on the ban list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a strange admission because it's an admission. So, yeah, I don't know where that leaves him. Fortunately for him, he's retiring, so I don't think it can, you know, ruffle any feathers. It's just a surprise that he
That's what I mean.
was.
It's just why would you put that out there this close to your farewell words? Because it's got people talking about it.
Well, it's damaging to his legacy. You know, if he was taking it for performance-enhancing reasons, but the only thing it would be beneficial to is between the sheets, really. It ain't going to give you any benefit on a dartboard.
Oh no, I agree. That's what I mean. It just didn't make any sense.
To why even bring that up? You know, I just don't get it. You know, it's all right. You know,
Trying to sell a few books.
yeah, maybe. I'm just not sure. You know, it's different for those of us that go to the gym. Testosterone's dead, Andy, especially when you're over, you know, when you're 30, your body stopped producing it, and that's all to do with HGH and everything else. So, yeah, it was a strange one to say he was taking it. I'm not sure even why he would reveal that, because it's got nothing to do with darts.
Big year next year for the PDC in general as well, because we've got a lot of crossover happening at the moment. We've got a lot of players starting to tail off, coming towards the end of their career, and we've got this huge crop now coming through where we need to build the next set of characters, don't we? And
Yeah,
the story behind them.
And the BDO is in big trouble at the moment. The Worlds is going to take place at the O2. Again, I'll be working on that. But I'm hearing there's going to be a huge influx of BDO players now going to go to Q School because they're unsure of their future. And although a lot of them are only what I'd call part-time players, they're not full-time professionals. So obviously, there's a lot in there that have got aspirations of one day being a full-time professional. And that's not going to happen at the BDO now. So, yeah, we've not only got the sort of the generation of self-made, their products of Challenge Tour and Development Tour, and now tour card holders that are starting to look proper dangerous. You know, we've seen Luke Humphreys, Luke Woodhouse. You know, we've seen that what can be created, and the next 2 to 3 years is going to be fascinating.
Touching on the BDO while you're there, the leaked ticket sales. Is that a huge concern that only 9% of tickets have been sold and we're less than a month away?
Yeah, it's a shame that all those complain and stamp their feet about it don't buy a ticket even if they don't turn up. You know what I mean? It's like if you care about the BDO that much, buy a ticket. Don't keep moaning about it on social media. Go and buy a ticket. Go and support it. You know, I try and do my best via social media as you do. You know, we try and promote it for them. And last year they sold just over 10,000 tickets at Lakeside. I thought, unless money was in place to move it, which it's not, then I think, you know, again, it's just commercial suicide. But that's what happens when people are running a business that have no clue. I wouldn't look for Matt Porter's job because I wouldn't know how to do it, you know, and he wouldn't probably try and do mine. You know, it's all horses for courses, and the reason, and we keep saying it, the reason the PDC is like a well-oiled machine, it runs like a Rolex, because the industry experts are in place to make sure that happens.
Now, we spoke to Scott Mitchell, and he spoke about the infamous tweet that it wasn't meant to go out. It was meant to be a DM, bless him. But the fact that that information is now out there, we spoke about it in Germany, that everyone now knows the money.
Well, we knew.
The money is not there
to
fund the World Championships prize fund in its entirety. If it isn't there, does it go ahead? Because it's either it goes ahead and arguably we lose the BDO, or do they save face pull it and try and recoup?
Well, I just think they got to work as hard as possible to promote it and try and make it a success. Listen, it's being broadcast, it's live, it's in a wonderful venue. You know, effectively, it is the Amateur World Championships, which we keep saying, embrace that, go with it. Listen, the PDC would jump in and help them out if they had someone in control that, you know, could see the wood for the trees. But they're not going to sort of go there now, you know, and try and help them because they've got no reason to. But, you know, just embrace the ethos of being an amateur organisation, come to some kind of deal with the PDC where the winner gets a tour card for 2 years, you know, something like that. Or the two finalists, I'm not sure how they could do it, but, you know, there's definitely mileage in working side by side. And, you know, I'm pretty sure Matt or Barry gets offered deals that don't quite fit the criteria, or not quite enough money, or broadcast deals that don't quite fit, that maybe they could say, right, we'll give you this, and, you know, something, you know, there's got to be some way that they can work side by side. And darts doesn't need to lose the BDO. The BDO, it basically provides a service for those that maybe just want to play international darts, or just want to play county, or just want to play Super League. But amongst that lot, you know, a little diamond will come out from somewhere, and, you know, let's be honest, that's how Glenn Durrant, he was just a county player, a Super League player, and now look what he's doing. So, you know, and then some people can't afford to play in the Challenge Tour system or the Development Tour. So the BDO needs to exist for darts and for dart fans who just, you know, watch it on TV and enjoy a local league game, a Super League or something like that. Yeah, it needs to stay. It'd be absolutely devastating if they folded.
Also, as well, a sad month. We've lost Olly Croft, former founder, chairman, you name it, of the BDO. Now, we know there was a lot of bad blood towards the end, but what that man did for darts in the beginning will be unrivaled by anyone.
Yeah, he was. Well, his effect on the sport has been pretty much what, you know, people within the PDC have done. You know, and you know, you got to think of Tommy Cox, bless him. He passed away a while ago. Yeah, like he was a pioneer. You know, it was all built in the back of a shop in Muswell Hill, and he had this idea that he wanted to run a World Championships that sort of rivaled the News of the World, and then he had the World Masters, and then obviously the start of the World Championships in '78, and he was the integral part of it all happening, along with a lot of other people that never get a mention. But yeah, it was, and he put his own money in. You know, we'd have overseas players come into the UK to play in the Worlds. He'd let them stay at their house and pay for everything. It's a shame that it all ended up so bitter. But that was his passion. You know, he was protecting his baby and didn't realise that he was doing more harm than good in the end. But he should always be remembered fondly for, you know, the impact he had on our sport, because he played a massive part. You know, it wouldn't be where it is today without him, that's for sure.
Would you like to see the BDO rename something in his honour to commemorate him, like the PDC have done with the Sid Wardell Trophy, the Eric Bristow, the Phil Taylor
Absolutely,
Trophy?
the World Championship should be named after him. Without, you know, that goes without saying. Yeah, has to. He needs to be remembered and honoured for, you know, his service to the sport. You know, he received an OBE for a reason. Yeah, so yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Again, so obviously we all know at some point we're all going to die, but darts has lost some real corner pillars of its foundations in the last few years, isn't it? I know, and it will continue to happen, but when you just look back on the memories that all these people created back in the day, it brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, for me, Eric was the huge one, you know what I mean? He was the best man at my wedding, my hero, my idol, my roommate for sort of 10, 15 years. That was a huge loss. But also in that time, you know, Olly Croft, Phil Jones, the original MC. Yeah, there's so many have gone, and that's just, like I say, it's just one of those things. We were around in that era where the people I sort of worked alongside were always sort of, you know, 20 years older than me. But yeah, it's sad, and Ollie going and everything that's going on with the BDO right now. That really is sad, because, you know, although there's been problems in the past, you know, we just that's done. We can't change what's been said or what we've all said about each other, and, you know, we can only correct the future and try and put things right. And right now, in Ollie's memory, that's what everybody should be focused on doing who's got anything to do with darts and the BDO. It needs saving, and if it, you know, it's not down to the PDC to save them, it's not their responsibility, but everybody involved in the PDC are darts fans, and they know deep down how important the BDO is.
One thing we spoke about last time as well, which got a lot of feedback, was the nutritional stuff and players' lifestyle. And again, I know we spoke about it. Is it good that this is now being brought to the front in this sport? I know Merv spoke about it as well.
Yeah, you'd be amazed the amount of players
playing up again.
You'd be amazed at the amount of players that said to me, right, can you write me a diet plan and a fitness routine? And it's not about looking like an Adonis or being shredded. It's about lifestyle change, because again we hear so much about the mental side of the game, and that's lifestyle. These people are having mad benders on a weekend, or getting up going, oh, I'm depressed on a Monday. No, you're on the come down. That's what it's all about. And it's just small little things, just small lifestyle changes. It. Look how much weight you've done. You're always in the gym, or when you've got a day off.
So not this time of year.
Yeah, no. It's not about being, having 10% body fat or being able to bench press 500 pounds. That's not what it's about. It's just about living a cleaner lifestyle, cleaner body, cleaner mind. And it works. It works for people who have suffered for years from depression. It's the endorphins the body creates, the feel-good chemicals you get from living a healthy lifestyle. And I think, listen, if it gives you 1%, and we've got to think about image as well. Image is massively important in any brand and in any sport. And if you're trying to promote something, you want it to look the best it can. And what is pleasing, this next generation of players, there's a few good-looking lads, and they look like they look after themselves. Look at Gerwyn, Price, Josh Payne, Chris Dobie, Nathan Aspinall. They're all like lean, fresh, clean-looking fellas, which is fabulous for the sport.
Is it those we've got to educate? Because obviously the older ones, it's like when you can't teach a old dog new tricks and stuff like that. So is it this from the JDC upwards now? They're the ones that need to be educated and all.
Yeah,
this?
And it's something that is discussed. The alcohol and drug misuse and all those kind of things are all discussed at JDC. All the people involved with that are fully aware of. If you nip it in the bud early, and it will help you. There's, people say, "Oh, Phil wasn't very." Very lean, but he was fit. He was fit.
Miles.
He used to walk miles with his dogs every day. He was always on some kind of fitness kick and everything else. So, he could play darts from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with no problem at all. But you get some 25-year-old lad who's like a few stone overweight, who don't eat right and doesn't look after himself. We watch him do it all the time. They're getting burnt out quick, and they shouldn't be. The reason he had longevity, and like I say, look at Joshua Ruiz, perfect example. Big muscle-bound guy who looks like, you wouldn't get anywhere near him, gets beat up by a fat lad. There you go.
Last one from us, because I know you've got to get off to the studio. Darts in America, going to the city that doesn't sleep, East Coast of America. I know you've spoken about it for a while. Are you excited by darts in MSG?
Yeah, huge. We've been discussing this for years. It needed to come out of it. Vegas is great, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Vegas. But I don't think commercially it worked. I don't think it's the kind of place... the demographic you're looking for, but New York, you've got the Irish community, they're going to absolutely love it. The time difference is perfect, and what a place. I mean, my bucket list is to go to a big fight at Madison Square Garden. If there's a fight on either side of it, I'm pretty sure Eddie Earn would be looking at maybe putting a fight on the week before or the week after, and then doing it as a package deal. You can go out, watch the boxing, and then the following weekend watch the darts. I'm going. I'm going to go. I mean, it's my dream to go to a big fight at MSG, and just imagine going in there to watch darts. It's just going to be the most amazing experience.
Mate, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you, and we
As
will
always,
see
pal.
you day number 1 at Alexandra Palace
You
in
will.
the Big Brother house.